My stepson repaired my car, yet what he did afterward left me utterly speechless. Before we dive into the video, I kindly ask everyone to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for your support. Some journeys take us to unexpected places. At times, a single choice can shape the very fabric of your life. It is often the case that the feeling of walking down a misguided path remains elusive until that very first step is boldly taken. For years, I poured my heart into crafting the right choices. At the age of 38, I embarked on a new chapter of my life by marrying Anderson. Before that moment, I had always imagined creating a family and offering my future child a warm and loving home. Yet, Anderson never nurtured the same dreams. At first, he embraced every duty that came with being a husband. He proclaimed that we would weave a life together. As the years unfolded, I came to realize that I was merely a whisper in the fabric of his life. Anderson never truly placed importance on me or the family we might have built together. His job, his schedule, and his unyielding routines always came first. At first, I misled myself. I believed he was on the brink of a remarkable change. Perhaps one day he would come to see the growing emptiness within me. Yet, Anderson remained steadfastly the same. As the years rolled on, the weight of my solitude deepened. Yet Drake stood apart. Anderson's child from his first marriage, during our first meeting, was just 19 years old, freshly embarked on the college journey, filled with eagerness, motivation, and an abundance of potential. Anderson kept his distance, convinced that being a father was all about providing financially. Yet Drake yearned for something beyond that. He embarked on a quest to affirm his value and carve out his own path. He possessed traits that Anderson did not have. Before I even realized it, I found myself watching him closely. As Drake neared the momentous occasion of graduation, he found himself at a crossroads, compelled to make a choice that would forever change the trajectory of his life. Everyone expected that he would embrace a well-paying role in engineering. Yet he shared a longing to pursue a path as a mechanic. Anderson faced a profound sense of loss upon uncovering this information, his emotions erupting in shouts, fury, and even veiled threats to retract his financial backing. The echoes of that dispute still resonate in my memory, shaking the very foundations of our home. And so, with a quiet resolve, Drake took his leave. On the night after graduation, he quietly collected his belongings and slipped away into the shadows. I found myself unable to say goodbye. I chose not to ask him where he was headed. Had I permitted myself to unveil the depth of my anguish at his departure, I would have been driven to recognize a deeper truth, an unexpected challenge I was ill-equipped to face. 2 years have passed since he left us. My paths have crossed with him on but a handful of occasions. The bond we once had faded away. Once upon a time, in a world filled with wonder and intrigue, there existed a tale waiting to be told. Was not meant to be. This evening, as I sat in my weary old car on a shadowy, rain-drenched road, it dawned on me that I had no one else to reach out to. I was not yet aware of it, but a change was on the horizon. It would surpass my wildest dreams. It would unfold on its own. I clutched my phone, my fingers instinctively hovering over Anderson's number. Yet I found myself pausing. Was it not clear what his response would be if he chose to reply? Reach out to a toe. Indeed, Cameron, I am far away. He would end the call, leaving no words behind. I swallowed hard, the sound echoing in the silence. My eyes lingered on the screen, captivated for several moments. I then left the call and turned my attention to another name. Ah, the name that echoes through the corridors of music, a figure whose journey captivates the imagination. A strange unease began to awaken inside me. My finger hovered just above his contact. I ought. How can I reach out to him? Was this merely a call for help, or could it be seen as a different kind of explanation? Something unspoken, an undefined presence employing this as a guise. The rain whispered gently against the windows, creating a soothing melody. In the glow of my headlights, I beheld an imposing, sturdy figure moving steadily through the shadows. A strange wave of relief washed over me as I beheld the scene before me. With a purposeful stride, Drake neared the vehicle and gently rapped on the glass. As I gently lowered it, his voice came forth, familiar and steady. "Cameron, how do you fare today?" My eyes were drawn to him. His face glistened slightly from the rain. His features stood out more distinctly. Then I remembered. His stance was effortless yet strong. He had shed the innocence of youth. He was a unique soul. In these 2 years, it wasn't just the distance that had changed. He had truly undergone a transformation. The vehicle came to a sudden stop, leaving me in a state of uncertainty about my next move. Once, I shared that I had the pleasure of visiting my mother. It happened on the way back. Anderson has ventured out of town once more. I held back from reaching out to him, for I already knew how he would respond. Reach out to a tow truck, Cameron. He might find himself growing frustrated with me for it. If this is your first encounter with such, we invite you to become part of our journey. Join our channel and subscribe, ensuring you have notifications turned on to stay updated. Before moving forward, you might wish for this tale to continue endlessly. Drake tilted his head ever so slightly, a spark of understanding flickering in his eyes. He spoke with a calm demeanor, acknowledging the reasons behind your lack of communication with him. Fear not, for I have this well in hand. He leaned in closer, releasing the hood and casting the beam of his flashlight into the depths of the engine. I watched as his hands moved with precision, each muscle flexing with intention in every careful gesture. He had risen above the confines of being just a college student. With every step he took, an air of assurance surrounded him, and his deft management of situations revealed a wealth of experience. It became clear that this matter would remain unresolved in this moment, he finally declared, as he closed the hood with a sense of finality. We need to carry it over to the garage. It is essential for me to take the wheel, as the steering may become unyielding. The passenger seat shall be yours to claim. Here I shall set my truck to rest. I shall come back for it at a later time. I chose not to delve into it. I had no obligation to. In the comforting aura of Drake's presence, a sense of assurance washed over me, whispering that all would eventually turn out well. The air was thick with warmth as the journey unfolded. Yet the stillness that lingered between us endured. Free from difficulties. It appeared to pull us closer, both of us oblivious to the force at play. Drake would occasionally cast a glance my way, his voice steady and unwavering as he shared his insights, keeping the conversation flowing seamlessly. I settled the bill. Gather round. I watched him, his hands skillfully guiding the steering wheel. His voice echoed with depth, and his presence felt undeniably strong beside me. When he left 2 years ago, I neglected to recognize the depth of the void his absence carved within me. Anderson had always carried an air of detachment, yet there was something unmistakably unique about Drake's presence. His energy, his voice, his gaze, at that moment, something stirred within me, a profound awakening. I was not yet ready to face it. I remembered that evening, the one just before he left. There was a silent bond between us, one that had never crossed any lines yet held the promise of something more. Proceed with that. The possibility had always been there, waiting to unfold. Drake had come back, transformed, wiser, and undeniably more enchanting. A sense of unease crept into my being. This feeling was forbidden, it was never meant to linger in this space. Yet it lingered, despite my attempts to hide it. I felt it with each breath I took in. His essence. As we stepped into the garage, I took a deep breath, striving to steady myself before I swung open the car door. Yet, a whisper within urged, "This evening you are both changed, and you both know it. The garage was steeped in the scent of engine oil and metal, while the rhythmic patter of rain danced upon the roof, creating a symphony of sound that filled the air. Drake lifted his head from beneath the hood, wiping away a delicate sheen of perspiration from his forehead before fixing his gaze upon me. His eyes sparkled with a hint of intrigue, while his demeanor suggested a mind lost in deep thought. As the shadows lengthened, he noted, his voice rich and steady. "Should I begin the repairs on this vehicle now, we shall linger here until the break of dawn. It would be wise to tackle it first thing tomorrow." I yielded, even though it was not a matter of concern. Drake's posture spoke volumes, signaling that this was no ordinary night. He noted with a keen eye that the rain was growing ever more fierce. "Stay here for a moment. I need to help a friend get my truck. Once that's done, I'll be back to take you home. I would prefer if you didn't have to stand out here by yourself." His voice carried a quiet confidence, reflecting a keen awareness of the finer points. Anderson took action. If he chose not to comply in this circumstance, he would have remained indifferent. He likely expected that I would find a way to handle it somehow. Yet Drake stood out in a remarkable way. As he departed, the quiet of the garage wrapped around me like a thick blanket. The rain pounded relentlessly on the roof while I settled into my seat, hands clasped neatly in my lap. Logically, I should have experienced feelings of irritation or anxiety. My vehicle broke down, leaving me to return home late, and all my plans fell apart. Yet, the unusual detail was that I was unmoved. A profound sense of tranquility enveloped me, surpassing even the heights of joy. What is the tale behind it? This was simply a case of a vehicle breaking down. The situation held no intrigue. Yet, on this particular evening, everything felt extraordinary. Drake's gaze held a captivating allure, his voice radiated warmth, and his very presence seemed to wrap the surroundings in a cocoon of profound change. As I lingered in anticipation, a transformation was unfolding within me. I pondered it. Over the passage of time, Drake evolved into a figure of maturity, embodying resilience and self-sufficiency. Furthermore, his presence eased the weight of my solitude. That sensation, whatever it was weaving itself deeply into the fabric of my being. The thunderous growl of an engine outside broke the silence of my thoughts. Drake stepped into the garage, water streaming down his shoulders, completely unfazed by the pouring rain. "Ready?" he asked, his eyes locked onto mine. I stood up, tightening my jacket around me, and confirmed with a nod. We stepped out side by side and climbed into the vehicle. As we journeyed, the feeling within me grew stronger. I cast a fleeting look his way, striving to convey the depths of my feelings. With a knowing smile, I observed that when such events unfold, most people find themselves grappling with frustration, anxiety, or a feeling of misfortune. Yet I find myself in a different place entirely. In a curious twist, I found myself enveloped in a sense of contentment. Drake cast a subtle smile, his eyes fixed intently on the winding road ahead. He recognized his comprehension, noting that sometimes, even at inconvenient situations may inspire. Truly, his voice carried a soft and soothing quality. Yet, there lay a deeper essence woven into its fabric. The walls I had built around my solitude were crumbling away. In that moment, I grasped the depth of Anderson's emotional detachment and the intense loneliness I felt, even with him so close by. Moreover, I came to understand that Drake. It was seen in that light as well. The air crackled with an undeniable tension between us. A quiet urge stirred within me, a gentle yet persistent whisper that beckoned my attention. I longed for this night to stretch on forever. As we neared my abode, I took a deep breath, gathering my courage. "Drake, you have been grappling with this for quite some time now," I noted. "You must be quite hungry. As we gather around the table, let us share a meal and rekindle the connection we once cherished, all while holding each other's gaze. Drake regarded me, his silence lingering in the air like an unfinished tale. After a brief interlude, that familiar warmth. A smile emerged. "How could I possibly refuse that?" he declared, and a flicker of inspiration ignited within me. As I stepped into the kitchen and began to prepare supper, the stress from the night simply melted away. We exchanged laughter and delved into conversations about our past, reminiscing as if nothing had changed. Yet, all circumstances had shifted. Every time our eyes met, an unspoken understanding passed between us. Retreat was not an option that lay before them. The soft flicker of candlelight danced across the table, casting a warm and inviting glow. We had been engaged in a delightful exchange, sharing tales and laughter as was our custom. It unfolded with an ease that felt both natural and hauntingly recognizable. Yet, the ambience that lay between us was far from the same. Drake settled back in his chair, arms crossed, his gaze fixed on me with keen interest. His gaze radiated a comforting glow. Furthermore, there existed another facet, a playful idea, something insightful. With a playful smirk, he admitted, "I must concede, you are as stunning as always. Today, it is truly remarkable. It seems you have grown even more youthful over the past 2 years. If I were to meet you for the first time, I would share that I am 26 years old, and that this woman seems to exist for no longer than 30. At this very moment, I would be weaving a spell of charm around her." A soft laugh escaped me, caught off guard by the nonchalant way he shared it. The unexpected praise caught me off guard, yet I couldn't deny the pleasure it brought me. "Thank you, but I am 45 years old, Drake," I said, keeping my smile intact. "There exists a notable gap of about 20 years in our ages." "Age is merely a numerical value," he remarked, his voice taking on a deeper resonance. "We both know that well." His words sparked a wave of warmth deep inside me. Silence enveloped the table. Though the stillness was not unpleasant, it was thick and heavy, as though something teetered on the edge of breaking apart. Drake tilted his head slightly, his gaze searching mine as if he were uncovering something deep beneath the surface, a matter that we could no longer ignore. I noted, trying to steer the conversation, that you have transformed as well. Your departure signaled the dawn of your maturation journey. At this moment, you stand as an adult male. Drake's smile slowly faded away, replaced by a more serious demeanor. He took a moment to pause, allowing himself a brief respite. His palm rested on the table, fingers softly tracing the surface as if weaving a tale with each delicate movement. He paused for a moment, then locked his gaze with mine and spoke with clarity. "My heart held a fondness for you, Cameron." A sudden constriction occurred within me. "Drake, I am aware," he persisted. "I was never meant to reveal it, yet the desire to keep it hidden had faded away. As I left that place, I thought that by paying tribute to you and keeping my distance, I would be able to forget. I embraced it. Was simply a fleeting occurrence that was expected to fade away with time, yet it did not." He took a deep breath, his gaze capturing me, holding me in thrall. "As I watch you in this way, I feel a completely different sensation unfolding within me. Witnessing you in this solitary moment deeply stirs my emotions. My heart raced with fervor, as if my very being had split into 2 distinct realms. One part of me urged flight, while another, a facet of my being I scarcely recognized, yearned solely to stay and hang on every syllable that fell from his lips. Drake, I found myself unable to finish my thought. His gaze held mine with such intensity that it left me breathless. In that moment, my fingers reached out across the table, drawn to his hand as if by an unseen force. Drake took hold of my hand, his skin warm and strong. In that moment, a hush fell over everything. We moved to new places at the same time. As we leaned closer, our eyes met for one last moment before we surrendered to the darkness. In that moment, our lips met, drawing us closer together. At first, it moved slowly and with hesitation, but in just a few moments, everything we had kept buried, every ounce of stress we had ignored for years, came pouring out. In that moment, Drake gently cupped my face, pulling me closer to him. As I basked in his warmth, my body instinctively gravitated toward his, drawn by an invisible thread of connection. A realization dawned upon me, as I sensed the awakening of something deep within, something I had long thought lost to the sands of time. In that moment, it dawned on me that retreat was no longer an option. Though Dr. Bree's lips brushed against mine, I felt a stirring deep within, an awakening of something I had held back for a long time. My hands moved with a will of their own, gliding down his shoulders as he pulled me nearer. With unwavering determination and a steadfast spirit, I made my way toward Drake. As I looked into his eyes, I noticed his hand beginning to move. Slowly, it ignited a spark of excitement within me. A profound feeling stirred within me, something truly significant. In the midst of overwhelming, sharp agony, I found myself untouched by its grasp. All flowed seamlessly onward. I resonated with powerful sounds, and in sync with my spirit, I endlessly conveyed my essence. My heartfelt appreciation for Drake. With a heart full of wonder, he too found himself enveloped in joy. I witnessed the spark of excitement in his gaze. We uncovered each other. We flowed together in perfect unity across every facet. I gently rested my hand on Drake's shoulders, a flicker of worry crossing my mind that my nails might be causing him any discomfort. My form stiffened and trembled. I was taken aback by such a response. It was clear that Drake held it in high regard. I begged him to loosen his hold, to end the confinement. As he spoke my name, Cameron, his voice slowly faded away, and in the end, he let go of control. A deep warmth wrapped around me. With a deep breath, I surrendered to the moment and settled beside him. As I settled beside Drake, my heart pressed on with fervor. Our breaths came in fits and starts, yet within me, there was a profound sense of peace that words could scarcely capture. Being near him felt like a piece of a forgotten puzzle finally falling back into place. Drake turned to his side, locking eyes with me. His hand swept gently through my hair, tracing the contours of my face. His gaze radiated certainty, a look that captured the true essence of the moment. This was not just a fleeting distraction. Cameron, he spoke with intention, you must leave Anderson behind. A tightening took hold within me. I had awaited this moment for him to express it, yet the words hung in the air, heavy with unspoken meaning. He does not deserve your light. He never did such a thing. He left you in the shadows for years, never showing a hint of warmth or care. Turned your life into a pale reflection of what it could be. One might say that this life is beyond your reach. I sought to express a thought, yet he stopped me. In this way, we could begin again in a new place, in a land that feels foreign, where we are strangers to everyone. Once upon a time, in a world filled with endless possibilities, there existed a singular being, embarking on a journey of self-discovery and adventure. I find myself unmoved by all other concerns. My heart is filled with a profound fondness for you, Cameron. It has become unbearable for me to see your sorrow and isolation. I reached out to him. The sincerity in his words and the passionate longing in his eyes deeply stirred something within me. A gentle warmth wrapped around me from within, a feeling I hadn't known in many years. Was this an evasion, or merely a twist of fate? The air thickened with anticipation. Yet, it also unfolded a chance. As I pondered the possibility of extraordinary joy, a sense of wonder enveloped me. I took a deep breath and flashed a grin at Drake. A name nestled within my throat. In that fleeting moment, our gazes conveyed a world of meaning. Our hands intertwined, fingers weaving together. The tale was not yet finished. There was more to the tale. This time, it was moving forward with greater momentum. Stay alert for what unfolds next. Having arrived at this juncture, it is clear that this tale has struck a deep chord within you. There is a wealth of tales yet to unfold, and you certainly do not want to miss a single one. Be sure to click the follow button, turn on notifications, and share your thoughts about this tale.